Society. And 2 years ago, we were fortunate enough to receive a $500,000 grant to work on the Shaker buildings that are here on the property of MCI Shirley. The Society administered the grant, jumped through loopholes and all kinds of things and tricks and did everything we could to get here. We're very pleased with how everything came out. But officially, the property we're on does belong to the state of Massachusetts, the Department of Correction.
Great pleasure that I attend the celebration of the completion of this phase of the Shirley Shaker Village Restoration Project. Often, historical projects such as this are discarded as we march ahead toward progress or for the lack of funds, which we have for this project. But it's important, I believe, to preserve portions of our past and to honor the accomplishments of those who came before us. The Roman philosopher Cicero once said, "History is the witness that testifies to the passing of time. It illuminates reality, vitalizes memories, provides guidance in daily life, and brings us tidings of antiquity. No truer sentiment would benefit an event such as this."
But this was truly a project that should happen more often in this state, because it brought the state together with the private sector and various agencies in between, and it just worked. It really did work. We had great cooperation with the Department of Correction, the Department of Resource Management to get this project done. There was a lot of give and take throughout the whole project. The Shirley Historical Society kind of set the goals, and you know, we had our feet on the ground trying to make it all work. And it was one of those living, breathing projects that you really don't know what you don't know until you take a wall down or open up a building and you find, you know, a surprise inside the wall. The ultimate goal was to preserve these buildings, and I'm sure, as everybody in this room knows, keeping the water and the weather out is probably the most important thing in a building. And then secondly, to get it occupied, because if a building's not occupied, it just crumbles into the ground eventually. So we worked on about 9 buildings throughout this project, doing various things from roofing to painting to replacing rotted siding, rebuilt windows, you know, all kinds of things. And we actually came down with making 3 buildings that were probably not occupiable or marginally occupiable, occupied. And they're actually being used today by agencies, state agencies. So, you know, it was a win-win for everybody. The inmates that we had in this project, under the direction of some officers that are sitting over here, you know, Danny, Andy, and John, for the most part, they really took an interest in this project. You know, at first it was questionable as to whether it was going to work out, but as the project moved along, they truly cared about what they were doing, and to the point where they would, you know, you'd come across a problem that we ran into, and everybody would put their heads together, including the inmates, to get this done. And you know, they did learn trades, as was mentioned earlier, that they can take now when they leave here, hopefully, and be contributing people in society. So you know, it was fun. It really was fun. And one little example is windows. You look at these windows in this building, and these are Shaker windows that were rebuilt professionally when this building was done. And we also did the same thing in one of the buildings that we restored. But we ran out of money to do the same thing in another building that needed windows replaced. And the inmates actually set up a little window shop within this building, and they replaced all the glass and glazing and screwed windows together and fixed the windows. I was just amazed that they were able to do that, and they actually wanted to do it. So it was, you know, it was a good project. You know, these are historic buildings. They're definitely worth saving. You know, a lot of people don't really care about old buildings, but you know, we have to understand that it's part of the fabric of every community in this part of the country, especially Massachusetts. And the project was a success.